Hey guys, this is Anastasia Autumnfire, and this is another Imbolc crafting for my sister circle with Elizabeth Crystalhawk. I thought it would be good. Since we are rededicating ourselves to our personal goddesses, and for me, patrons. So she's rededicating herself to her matron, and then I will be rededicating myself to my matron and my patron. To give offerings, and we have our individual offerings, but then since we also do have a sisterhood, I wanted to have one of those offerings be kind of unified. So I had this idea of taking birch branches and burning onto them and honoring, and then throwing them in the bonfire. And this is how they came out. So for Hell, it was the first one I did, so the markings are a little crazy, but we have her Sacred Rune Hegelaz. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong because every time I can make a video, I can't do it right. And then surrounded by algaes for protection. And then in the runic alphabet, I honor Hell. And then at the bottom, I am not an artist, so this is what I came up with for a skull. And I have it half in dark, half in light to represent Hell herself, who is half maiden, half crone. And then I have the triple goddess symbol here. The reason for that is she is identified traditionally as maiden and crone, but I also see her as a mother to the dead of sorts. So I personally resonate with her. I would never call her a triple goddess out and about, but in my personal practice, I am able to identify with that aspect as well. So that is just a personal correspondence I have. Please do not take that as anything other than just my personal findings. So that is her branch. Then I made one from Elizabeth's matron, Cerridwen. And again, I am not an artist. So I burnt a cauldron, which kind of just looks like a satchel, but with some squigglies coming out of it, but it's supposed to be a cauldron. The intent is there. And then in the witch's alphabet, I have honor Cerridwen. Because I was writing it, I didn't want to write I honor Cerridwen as I did with Hell and Cernunnos. Simply because it just, when I started to write it out, that was the one thing that instantly hit me, was I should not write I, just write honor Cerridwen, and that will be good. So I have the cauldron at the top. At the bottom, witch's rune for insight, wisdom, divination. It's the witch's eye. And then in the middle, I have the goddess blessing symbol. When I was kind of going through in my head and thinking how I wanted to do this, I wanted for the goddesses to have to have the goddess symbol in the middle of their stick, and then for Cernunnos, the horned god. But Cerridwen pretty much instantly didn't feel right. It didn't resonate. It didn't work. I don't know why. And then suddenly I had a visualization of this symbol with the little pearls or tears coming from it. So I added that, and then I also added 3 dots on the top. I believe traditionally she has a dual aspect, so I don't know if that's why that resonated with me. But I took that as a sign that that's what she wanted on here, so that's what I put on there. And then for Cernunnos, I went with Ogham writing. I've never done it before, so it's probably kind of crazy, but it works. I have the sun, because as a god, he does kind of reign over the physical. He's very much about life and protection and abundance and prosperity. I just, every time I see the sunrise in the morning, every time I physically take notice of, oh, the sun is shining, I always look at it and say, good morning, Cernunnos. I don't know why. That is just how I kind of correspond with it. And it's always been a symbol for him, for me. Again, personal correspondence, don't take that as any sort of gospel. Then in Ogham, which looks like a bunch of chicken scratch, I know, and because the branch itself was kind of knotty, the line was not straight, but it again says, I honor Cernunnos. And then I have the horned god symbol in the middle, and down here I have the antlers, and the tines of the antlers equal the number 7, which is sacred to Cernunnos. So there we go. These 3 offerings will be thrown into the bonfire tonight, as well as some personal offerings that we are going to give. And I just thought I'd send that out. The reason why I wanted birch branches, in case I didn't cover this, birch is really the tree that Elizabeth and I believe it's also a very traditional correspondence to Imbolc as well. But Elizabeth and I definitely associate the birch with Imbolc. It's all about renewal, cleansing, and regrowth. So yeah, blessed be.